Next up, we have Kero Gaming.
All right, awesome. Yeah, mic's on, cool. Awesome, well, thank you all for the opportunity to be here and for taking the time to join us. So my name's Tom Gray, I'm Vice President of Revenue with Kero, and we're gonna take the next few minutes to talk to you all about the future of sports betting. So according to market-leading research, 1 in 3 Americans believe that sports betting positively contributes to the overall entertainment and value of watching live sports. However, it's a fraction of that number of people who have ever actually bet on sports. Why is that? It's largely because sports betting today looks like what you see on screen. Endless rows of essentially Excel spreadsheets, hundreds of options that you have to choose from to find something to bet on, and numbers like -450 and +375, an experience that's intended to provide entertainment very quickly becomes a complex math exercise. And if we put a few more numbers behind this, close to 75% of adults identify as being some level of a sports fan. However, only 8% last year reported actually placing a bet. 8% of people, a small minority of people that are driving an industry that has a projected market cap in the coming years of $200 billion. Kero Sports' ability to help close that gap in the industry and turn sports betting into truly an entertainment experience where $5, $10 here or there can add to the story, the experience of watching the game has enormous upside potential. And if we put one more metric against this to kind of tie it together, when surveyed, when asked why you don't bet on sports, 60% of non-sports bettors identify the lack of understanding the complexity of even getting started as a key reason why they don't participate. So how do you make sports betting a mass consumer, mainstream experience? At Kero, our vision is you have to inject the key ingredients that exist in all other forms of digital entertainment into sports betting. Number one being instant gratification, right? Today's modern consumer simply demands short form content, quick, repeatable entertainment and excitement. But then number two, which for us is most important, is recommendation. Think of maybe TikTok, X or Twitter or Instagram as the chief examples, but even more archaic digital products, if you will, like talking to somebody yesterday from Credit Karma. They're all built around recommendation. They're all built around an experience where the user doesn't have to think that much to be entertained. They don't have to exert a lot of cognitive effort. And that's because the content, the entertainment is brought to them. They're not really out searching for it. And the sports book today is largely the opposite. Those ingredients don't really exist. And it's those ingredients that Kero Sports is bringing to the industry. And we do that in the form of a proprietary recommendation engine for micro betting. So micro betting as in, will LeBron James make his next shot? Or will Patrick Mahomes complete his next pass? Short form markets that resolve very quickly throughout the course of the entire game. And the way that we uniquely generate those markets is, again, on a recommendation basis. So how does that work? We ingest loads of historical data, lineup analysis type data, in addition to live play-by-play data. We've developed proprietary algorithms that, as they ingest the data, are able to interpret what's happening in the game and then automatically curate and push out betting markets that are contextually relevant to what the fan, the user, is seeing happen on the game. So again, changing the experience from what we talked about earlier, where a user searches through long lists to find something, to one where the most engaging, compelling market is delivered to you. And if we deconstruct maybe an example for a moment, so this market, this betting market that you see here, at a very simple level, it's asking if Steph Curry is going to make his next shot. But again, to inject context and to make it more accessible, as a user, right, if you're watching the Warriors and Curry has 30 points or hits back-to-back shots, you intuitively aren't thinking about him, what he's going to do on his next shot, right? You're intuitively thinking, that was an amazing 40-foot three-pointer. He's killing it. He's having a great game, right? So we inject that type of special context, again, algorithmically, into the market. So in this case, Steph Curry's on fire. It acts as a prompt, essentially. Will he make his next shot? And then at the bottom of the market, it might be difficult to see, but we attach additional context notes, or what some partners refer to us as tips or clues, just a little bit more information to bring the consumer that much closer to betting. And in this case, it's telling us what's Curry's shooting percentage on the season versus how he's shooting today. So as far as how we deliver this product and work with partners, we have a couple different options. We have data feeds that plug directly into a partner's existing UX. We have a watch and bet product that combines betting with the ability to chat and socialize with other players and watch the game all in one single experience within the sportsbook. And then finally, we can remove the streaming and provide a second screen experience that combines betting and chat along with other gamified casino elements like live leaderboards and jackpot functionality. As far as where we are in the market, we launched with our first sportsbook partners just before this current Premier League season, so about 6 months ago. We're now working with upwards of 15 partners. We expect by the end of the year to be live with 50 plus sportsbooks, some of which are the biggest operators in their local markets across Europe and South America. Along with our real money business, we also work with upwards of 25 plus professional sports teams and media companies who use a free-to-play version of our product for the purpose of fan engagement and data collection purposes. I have a couple more slides to talk about our team, products we're working on next, fundraising efforts to date, but I'll start to pause here and open it up to questions and maybe leave it with kind of 2 comments. So top line, we've had really healthy growth the past couple of years, and we're projected to 3x in 2024. And then again, when we talk about engagement, is it actually adding to the entertainment? The third bullet, our average session time for participating players is upwards of 30 minutes per live game, which is strong. And partners are reporting to us that participating players remain tuned into the broadcast for up to 35% longer than non-participants. So again, the ultimate goal, making it more of an entertainment experience. So again, thank you for the time. I'll pause there and open it up to questions.
All right, I'll get us started. First, just want to understand a little bit more around the legality of the suggestion of the bets. Obviously, this is a very highly regulated market, but it's a disparately regulated market, even within the United States, state by state, let alone various countries. What does that look like as far as what you can and cannot suggest and how that's presented? And then, well, let's start there.
Yeah, I mean, look, generally speaking, like micro betting is allowed. It is legal. We're currently in North America. Every state that we work in, right, we have to get licensed, be approved by regulators. We have a license in Ontario, a license in Alberta, Canada. We're in the process of getting licensed. We just received one in Maryland, the process in 15 other states. There's been no pushback on the ability to include prompts within the betting market. Globally, same thing. There's licensing requirements that we've gone through, no pushback. There's some limitations around not being able to offer, player markets, right, in certain states, or not being able to offer, cover, Rutgers in New Jersey, right, as an in-state college. So there's some of that, but the ability to inject context into the betting markets, there's no issues, no pushback.
I was just curious, on these platforms that you integrate with?
Sorry, excuse me?
On the platforms that you're integrating with, basically running on top of, it seems like this wouldn't be too hard for them to replicate, right? Because at the end of the day, they have all the underlying statistics that you have as well. They already have the kind of user ownership, right?
Sure.
So how do you protect kind of your sliver on top there?
Yeah, look, I think that's a fair question. It's one we get a lot. I mean, I think candidly, there's probably 5 or 6 companies in the sports tech and entertainment industry, right, that could build everything that's being talked about in this room. I think, what we lean on is the passion, right? Like this isn't just 20 developers in a dark room building another feature for a company, right? This is something that we're passionate about, right, that we really believe in, and we think, that's a key difference, right? Because again, whether it's Genius Sports, Sport Radar, Amazon, there's 50 different things that they could build, right? But again, is it something that they really believe in, or is it just another feature that they want to add to their tech stack? And then looking inwards, maybe if I jump around for a second, we also think we do have a pretty strong team, right? That can, I think I skipped past it. All good. That can get us there. So, myself, 10, 12 years in the sports tech betting industry, previously with OpenBet and Sport Radar prior to joining Kero. Our CEO has 20 years in consumer technology, a Techstars alum. He built out the gamification platform for the Coachella Music Festival. Our head of product is formerly with TikTok and Amazon. Our head of data science is formerly the head of data science for the Detroit Tigers and personalization for Harley Davidson. So again, inwards, we feel like we have a pretty strong team. And then just talking about the market, I think again it comes back to passion, vision, and really believing in what we're building.
So, and to build on that, so saw the platforms that you're currently partnering with, but some of the larger in the U.S., FanDuel, DraftKings, Fanatics, some of the larger in Europe, Betway, et cetera. When you go to them, they have obviously more R&D capabilities than some of the smaller shops. What are you hearing from them about your technology?
Yeah, I mean, we're hearing a lot of positive feedback. In the there's one of our differentiators is that we have a full-blown soccer or football product, and so from a sales and partnerships effort, a lot of our focus is outside of North America. The global industry is of course bigger than the North American industry, and soccer makes up 70-75% in most cases of an operator's turnover, and so we really focus on that. So in terms of not seeing a DraftKings, a FanDuel logo here, right? Like talking to some of those groups, but a lot of our focus is abroad. But again, the feedback's been positive. Novibet that's on here, they're the #2 operator in Greece, in 15 countries. MaxBet that's on here is #1 operator in Serbia. They were recently acquired by Flutter for $250 million, or 200 million. So we're working with some of those bigger brands.
Can you help us understand a little bit more about the pricing and how you make money?
Yeah. When you say pricing, you're talking about our revenue? Okay, cool. Because when I think pricing, I think about odds modeling and how we create the odds for markets. So with operators, we work on a revenue share basis. So we're taking somewhere between typically 8 to 12% of net gaming revenue, with some type of monthly minimums built into the agreements.
And how much, 8 to 12%, that's a pretty big spread there. Where is the tension on that in terms of pricing? Where do you get pushback? Where do you have leverage?
Yeah, typically the industry operates on a tiered model. So partners will share with us what type of handle or betting volume they're doing, what type of margins they operate at currently, and then we'll go back and propose to them a tiered structure where we might start at 12%, right? If it's just for example purposes, $0 to $1 million a month, and then achieving $1 million unlocks 11%. So it works in that manner, and that's why there's a little bit of a spread.
Okay, so it's consistent across the platform. It's just based on volume.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And you talked about net gaming revenue versus handle. What is the net gaming market? And I think you talked about the handle market earlier, but that's a small percentage, right?
So the market cap in terms of revenue is 200 billion for the global industry projected by 2030. Micro betting is projected to account for 15 to 35% of in-play betting. So I think roughly like micro betting on a global scale is $45 billion. Stuff that we're working on though that allow us to punch beyond micro betting and get into the total sphere of markets is this. So we have what we call internally BetGPT. It's a patent pending generative AI approach to odds modeling. So if we think about ChatGPT, right, at like a very base level, like how does that work? There's 300,000 words in the English language, right? Each of those words becomes a token. You feed it into the platform, right? And you feed more and more sources of information, right? And it's able to predict what the response should be, right? Or what should come next. If you think about sports, sport has a language to it as well, right? LeBron makes a shot, inbound pass by the Celtics. Tatum dribbles up the court, passes to Brown, shoots, misses, rebound Lakers, right? Like that's a language in the form of data. And so we're borrowing those mechanics of ChatGPT to, again, create a single model approach for odds modeling. Because currently, if there's 100 markets that are offered on a game, that requires 100 different models. So it's not live and in production right now. We're at a stage of stress testing the accuracy of it against the odds that leading operators like Bet365 offer. Cool, thanks a lot for the time.